kind of death ball squad, but what they do lack is a building hitter right now. So curious to see what that could be. I mean, I guess I'm thinking it's how is this puck going to be lane? I suppose that's really the question. Is he a mid puck? Is he an off lane puck?
That's the beauty, right? You could do any
and then
all.
What kind of mid building towers or off lane building hitters are left? There's really not a whole lot. I was thinking like Drow could be okay with the Necrophos puck, but I don't know if you necessarily want that against the Void AA. And I also
Very dangerous.
I don't know how you lane it. More importantly.
All right, looks like this is gonna be Inflame Hero. Very tanky.
Oh, the Necro counter.
Yep. Let's not forget that Necro could go in the off lane. That's how Fnatic employs it. They put Ohio on it, and then he just kind of tanks up in the front.
That is certainly true. It all comes down to this last pick here for Execration, their opening match of the International team to make it out of the group stage, and they will snag the Weaver. So you see some pretty long cooldown ultimates, you see a single target ultimate in the Doom, and you say, let's pick a good Linken's builder, Fernando, someone that can bait out the Chronosphere potentially, and also does well when those ults are in cooldown.
I like how we hype up the puck players on a team and then none of them plays it. No, it's playing the Weaver.
No, it's James.
Yeah, James is playing.
They've got 3 good puck players. They're unstoppable.
I honestly have never seen James play the puck because, again, his 2 teammates are so good at it. But this is the first time, and we'll see how he delivers. James is by far the most inexperienced player on the team for Execration, but I think he's also at times their best player. Like, given how little competitive experience that he's got, he is lighting it up, and I expect him to make some big plays if the TI jitters does not get to him.
All right, are you feeling the TI jitters, buddy?
Oh, dude, it's a walk in the park for me, man.
No, not in the nervous sense. Are you like tingling? Are you excited?
Oh yeah.
Does it feel like TI to you yet?
It amps up. Right now, not so much because we're seeing some Lich first picks. We're seeing some Dragon Knights.
You're sitting in a hotel room, in a comfy chair.
Wait till like main event day 1. We're putting on suits,
Are we? I was gonna wear nothing. My birthday suit.
That reminds me that clip that we did where you did the WoW scene. You flip your jacket, you look into the mirror, and you nod at your head. That is the TI jitter. That's when you know it's hype.
That's when thing really gets real. So. All right, looks like we should be ready to go. LFY taking on Execration. It is our opening game of this 2-game series. You and I casting total of 3 series today. We'll take a break after this, head over to the main stream to round out the day. But for now, begin to tell the stories of LFY and Execration. As we see Execration setting up with what looks to be an offensive tri lane for the Weaver, at least initially. Will be a safe lane Doom for Inflame, so they're potentially dodging this. Looks like they did get early boots on DDC, interesting. So, showing this AA some love, and Afu playing the true sacrificial 5-position Lich.
And that is the question you propose, right? Who is going to be playing the Lich? Afu is the roamer. Afu is the guy that's going out there to gather information for them, and I think Lich is just not the hero for that. DDC.
They want to catch him, but too bad he's got boots. They're going to try anyway with the cast, but this could be a trap if Execration walk into it. Could be in trouble. The Burrow Strike comes through. They're going to commit pretty heavily for this AA. The boots might be enough to save him, though. One more auto attack. It's not enough. He makes it back as follow-up. Sakuchi doesn't quite get the kill, but the last little plink from the Weaver will. So 1 down and looking for a second. They're going to burrow onto Super. A quick twofer to get the party started for Execration.
Wow. Well, at least he did get the rune, but the other thing about that team fight was that Dragon Knight committed to stealing Dragon Tail level 1. Let me tell you, that does not help your laning stage. You either want Brief Fire or Dragon's Blood. So James, getting the advantage there, getting the experience, but also making DK having a tough time in terms of the skill up.
Definitely a big start here for Execration, already closing in on 1,000 gold lead after that. We'll have, as you mentioned, a bit of an additional advantage. So how do you envision these lanes shaking out, Lumi? The Raging Potatoes Necrophos is being left alone against a Lich. That feels pretty painful, but it is a Void farming there, so at least a melee hero. Obviously, mid lane looks good with James having that skill advantage, and then Execration in this dual lane in the off lane. For now, it seems like harass out. So overall thoughts on the way the lanes are set up? How do you feel those are going to unfold? And then I guess we could talk about objectives and timings for these teams. What is the long-term outlook for each squad?
So I think the lanes actually are pretty decent for LFY, despite how things started. Hold that thought here. Top lane DDC might get gone on again. The boots, I don't think will save him this time. Nando going in, he won't have Sakuchi. And
pretty long cooldown on level 1. If that's a level 2 Sakuchi, I think he's likely dead.
Yeah, so I think the lanes will be fine for LFY because they have the Lich. And also, I think the Sand King might be a little bit stranded.
Oh, Nando, the anticipation plays. Hey, DDC, how you doing, buddy? Quick Sakuchi in, needs 2 more auto attacks to get the job done. Quite have the Geminate attack off cooldown.
You know what that was,
lives.
LD? He walked next to the tower and he got armor off the aura of the tower. That definitely helped out there.
That plus the Tango made the difference.
Yep.
That was such a sick play by Nando, though. Even though it doesn't get a kill, just completely reading the mind of DDC, expecting him to go for the 2-minute stack and or pull, and just completely ambushed him. Wasn't able to secure the kill, but sends him packing back to the base.
I mean, you say that he's reading minds. At the same time, he also missed like 2 full creep wave, right, for that play. So it's, you know.
Yeah, now RR's packing 5 CS to his name.
There you go.
There you go. Probably not ideal in that sense. It's a gamble worth taking. Well, despite the early point in Dragon Tile, things still going well here for Super in the mid lane, 12 CS. I honestly just feel like Dragon Knight never loses his lane anymore. I've seen people dual lane him, tri lane him, he still gets his levels, he rarely dies. K is just the new, like, hyper stable mid, and I guess the new thing is with the Breathe Fire revisions from, a year or so ago, this hero actually farms very well.
Yeah, he really reminds me of Magnus. Back in the days where you just sit in the mid lane, shockwave nonstop.
Spam shockwave.
Yeah. And yeah, I absolutely agree with you. The big thing is he going to be that initiator like you pointed out during the draft, or is he going to build a hood and work into the pipe because the 5-man is coming? Bottom lane, looks like Burrow Strike has started up. Afu.
You can't kill anyone with Frost Armor, please! Kimo, get out of here. Monet gets to work on him, however, Raging Potato delivering the nukes is going to force that Void on his heels. Backs him off at least for now, but still the pressure is on as the Lich tries to get active. But active is really anathema to the concept of Lich.
Yo, SAT word of the day?
Yeah.
You want to define that real fast? Because I have no idea what that means.
It's like antithetical. It's like the polar opposite of what it means to be Lich is,
Okay.
taking action.
I like how you define a tough word with even a bigger word. That is David Gorman for you.
Man, that's the 800 talking. I think I actually knew a lot more words when I was in school. Slowly my vocabulary has decreased. Now I just say fiend and noob a lot.
Dank.
And dank. Yeah, dank's a big one. My understanding and usage of the word dank has definitely improved over the last 5 years, I would.
Well, this is a very different LFY. You were asking what are both teams' game plan moving forward. Execration wants to come out of the lane stage very early with good items and 5 men, I think. And LFY is trying to survive that 5 men and go late because they do have the scaling cores of the Void and Doom. Top lane looks like Inflame might be in a lot of trouble. Nando going in, but it looks like he might just die if this Kofi ticks in, and it will.
Oh, Nando, no respect for the power of the Doom with Scorched Earth level 2. He is not an easy takedown. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, looks like Execration are setting up. Try to make a rotation on Super, but he hugs the tower. He will play Keep Away, and now instead, Kimo RR need to make their move top, so they really want to take this Doom down as he closes in on level 6. Maybe DDC will be the lower hanging fruit, though. Reveals himself, quickly gets found, and then gets jumped. Burrow Strike find up the cask. It'll be a clean takedown of the AA, but not the juicier Doom target they were probably hoping for.
Bottom, Raging Potato in a lot of trouble. He does not have Ghost Shroud here yet.
Oh, he's in trouble. If there's a bash here, he's likely done for. Even without it, he might still die. Monet, big commitment. Afu securing the kills. They get 2 to 3 as LFY get back in the game. Farm-wise, they are grossly out-farming Execration with the Lich as well as the safe lane Necro being left alone. He's falling apart, and yeah, in the middle lane, jump forward. James getting to work here, wants to make the move on Super, but that Dragon Knight's so damn tanky, gets up to Breathe Fire, and 3v2, he stands and survives, he gets to the Shrine, he's gonna live, no Execration, gotta get out of here. Phase shifting, looks like James will make it back. DK doesn't lose his lane, man. I'm telling you, like, no matter 3v2, and he still gets the kill and lives.
I mean, speaking of losing lane, look at Raging Potato right now. He's level 4 as a safe laner. He's walking into jungle to pick up bounty runes.
Oh, James using the Dream Coil defensively. If he goes down, it really is an unmitigated disaster for Execration, but the coil will save him. He wants to go back in, dodging the orb. DDC He walks back in. No silence available, but one more auto tech finishes it. However, he gets cold feeded. Then Dragon Tail. The stuns are stacked up here by Super and gets him with the Breathe Fire. No chance for the phase shift dodge. Absolute madness in the middle lane. Now 4-4 at 6.5 minutes. Very back and forth in the early moments.
This is really going to slow down Execration's ultimate game plan, which is, you know, do well on the lane stage and start 5-manning. With this kind of lanes, I'm not sure what they could 5-man behind. Nando really is the only person that's doing well, but he's playing Weaver. He gets doomed right here. Inflame hits level 6 before he does, and I do believe this is going to be a kill. RR, can you get the deny?
Some hero bounces. Inflame.
There you go.
Doesn't get anything out of that.
Bottom.
Aside from forcing the Weaver on his heels, and in the bottom lane, Chemo jumped here. They might try to make a move on Monet. Unfortunately, though, there is no Reaper Scythe. He's still not level 5. The Lich just quietly winning that war of passivity. And when he's, hey, if you get a kill, that's just a bonus. But this is really bad for the Necrophos Lumi. This hero is not a good comeback hero. He is not a turbo farmer by any means, and he has had an abysmal start in the bottom lane. How do Execration look to recover?
Get level 6 on Sanking and go with the puck. Get some kills going. Lemic gonna just get picked here in the river.
That icy vortex.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on it. Breathe Fire did like half his health. At least for now, it's still only level 1.
Yeah, I don't know how Execration is gonna really come back from this disastrous start, because Chronosphere is up too. So Raging Potato might just be dead here. In fact,
he is going to be raging after this. Eats the Chrono. Now comes Super, ready to go with the Dragon Tail follow-up. Jamming it in is Afu with the follow-up nuke damage to get the kill. LFY, another grab. They even force out the TPs. Execration unable to convert on those. Nando, meanwhile, trying to pressure the Doom, but with a level 4 Scorched Earth active, that is not a realistic kill. In fact, he's getting pressured back out of the lane. And wants to commit for this, dropping the Swarm. He's going to have a Sakuchi soon, but Inflame simply too tanky. Nando's like, when is this damn Scorched Earth going to end? Well, finally it will, but he just stands his ground. Nando may going to try again. He's just committing so much to try and pressure this Doom out of the lane. Can't quite do it, while James does find an AA kill in the mid lane. Afu does have the Chain Frost. No mana for it. He's about 20 short, unable to commit for that secondary kill. James finally gets something rolling for Execration. They had the 2 early kills, Lumi, and since then it's just really felt like all LFY. It's been a 6-3 run for them. They have moved into the lead, but a small breath of life from James as they will find the cast from the Logon, following up with the orb, but the stun out of the tower will bring James low. Phase shifts out, still eats the free fire though. Super man-moding up, now wants to back away. The Caustic combined with a little bit of Maledict damage gets the job done.
There is action.
There's a Doom ready, though.
Okay.
Nando's got to be careful.
Just poking the bear a little bit.
Ideal scenario is you hit Sakuchi right as he dooms you, and you just get back to your tower safely. But, of course, if that Sakuchi's on cooldown, Nando has to be very cautious.
Oh, there you go. That Doom is going to happen. Ice Vortex is going to give vision, and I don't... Nando...
That was just a great trap by LFY. They know Nando wants to be like cheeky with the Sakuchi, but not respecting their willingness to carry.
Well, you said that Inflame is the X factor. He's had a better early game that I've seen today than, you know, in the past 2 months. So Doom is one of those heroes I could scale absolutely amazingly. I think he needs to actually help his team to initiate, though. So I'm expecting some sort of Blink Dagger-esque build to jump in there and isolate that Weaver. Or do you think he's going to go for something else?
I mean, I think normally with LFY, Super will get a Blink or Shadow Blade, and he already is grabbing Drum. So with that in the Void, I don't know if you need that, but Jesus. Foo. The hate parade has arrived.
Yeah.
I like the... One thing I've noticed with Lich players nowadays is they're very willing to just blow the Chain Frost as a nuke.
For sure, yeah.
You know, they don't even care if it bounces usually. It's just for the double nuke damage. To get a kill early, it's more than worth it. As a nice timing there on the phase shift. James is going to dodge that super stun as it came in from distance. Will likely go down here to the Maledict. No super, staying alive. The power of the Frost Armor will repel Execration. LFY, again, just finding kill after kill. James is going to orb in here. He does have the stuns, but he's out of range. Off food, just casually slips away. Sliding to safety. Now Monet comes in. The Chrono's there. Fate shift. No wow for you, sir. Down he goes as well. 11-7. LFY, a shaky start, but gaining steam now up to a 2,000 gold lead and right back in it, Lumi.
Yeah. I think they were in a commanding position in this game, simply of the heroes that they got. You know, something that you point out during the drafting phase, who is Execration's tower hitter? You know, if you're falling behind, one thing you can do is starting to trade towers. But I guess Weaver is your tower hitter.
Weaver can be if he's farmed.
Right, but he's not farmed. And he's building into Lincolns just to protect himself. I just don't know what Execration's avenue of comeback is. They are so far behind. I talked about level 6 tanking. I mean, look at him right now. He's roaming around level 5.5.
Nowhere near a Blink Dagger either.
Yep.
This is a big commitment Execration have made, investing a lot of resources in smokes, in time off the map, and so far hasn't really paid off, but they're going to find a coil now. It's on the Doom, however, they're not combining their abilities here very well. DDC was the go for Execration support. Now the Chain Frost comes in combined with the late arrival of Raging Potato. Will net them an Ancient Apparition kill at least, but still, that Frost is a bouncing. Raging Potato dropping extremely low, eats the Doom, eats the Blade as well, and LFY, rough shot over Execration. Very poor focus fire, gets punished.
Yeah, despite having the initiation on their side, Execration still gets absolutely dumpstered in that fight. This is like LeBron James going into, you know, the park, dunking on kids. This is kind of how it feels like. And let me tell you, LFY is the LeBron James right now because...
I did not look at LFY as the LeBron James of the International, at least not going into the tournament, but they are dominating them that hard right now.
Okay, fine. They're the Yao Mings, right?
Yeah.
Let's get it, you know, correct here with the metaphor.
That's racist, Lumi.
What? All right, I'll do.
Also, isn't Yao Ming like retired and has bad knees now? He's kind of crippled, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's still dumpstering on these kids.
Are you saying that LFY are crippled in some way?
Well, I don't know. You're just putting words in my mouth now. It's hard.
It's just too easy.
Nando, going in here. Kofi not going to check in. He does move to the north side. Doom is very tanky, and yeah.
This Doom versus Weaver matchup has just been so bad for Execration. Like, Nando can't really kill him. He wasn't even able to farm all that effectively in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
And now even when he tries to make a move, you know, you want to while Doom is on cooldown, they don't have the firepower to burst him.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling like the Doom pick was perfect. I think it also really shores up some of Inflame's weaknesses where he would die a lot early. Doom is a very difficult hero to kill early because he's so damn tanky with the Scorched Earth. So seems like a pairing between hero and player that's working out quite nicely.
I think normally Doom is a disadvantage early on because he has no armor, right? If it's a 1v1 lane, you could actually pressure him down fairly much so, just simply from right click. But it was a 2v2, and Weaver's level 1 and 2 is so bad that by the time that they both hit level 3, like you said, the Scorcher just kind of takes over the lane. And Doom thought about getting, I believe, a Vanguard, and he's like, no, let's go full Midas.
See, here's the problem I see for Execration, Lumi, is they're up against a very strong teamfight composition for LFY. LFY have the ability to take objectives. Execration are also not very good at coming back, right? Like, none of these heroes really turbo farm aside from arguably Puck, as they're going to find Raging Potato again. He goes for the TP. Will he make it out? No! The Dragon Tail Infernal Blade combo pummels him into submission. Another death for the Necrophos, who continues to completely flounder here in the mid-game. 4 deaths, no assists, only 1 kill, and the CS, well, it ain't a whole lot better. Down in the dumpster at 53, the least farmed core in the game.
Yep. They are going to get a tier 1 tower out of the top lane. And I guess you were talking about how Execration can come back. One thing they do have on their side is that their heroes, in theory, are extremely mobile, all right? We're talking about Weaver, Puck, Sand King. If you get enough items on these guys, you can technically outplay LFY, but that's what you have to rely on. You have to outplay LFY.
Even that's going to be tricky, though, because Super, I imagine, going for the Blink. He's very close to it already. Monet, not going to get some damage items now, probably grabs one later, but these elusive heroes, like, there's an extermination squad on call to pick them off as they go for that split vote.
The extermination squad is at your house in front of you. They're your termites, right? Like
they're already laying traps. They're fumigating, or at least they're plugging in the fumigation machine. I haven't started yet, but
here comes
they're about to.
All right, maybe Inflame might get bursted down. He turns on the fire.
Burst it down, please. 44 regen per second says no way.
Chronosphere only catching 1. A lot of these key ultimates kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but I think LFY is looking to get a little bit more just off the chrono, but not the worst for Execration. Bottom lane, Super has the bugs on him, but he doesn't care.
The bugs. Dragon Knight is pretty much immortal right now. And they're trying to hit him, trying to punish him.
Puck's coming. If you cancel the TP.
Has the coil. Super, though, still just going to try to hoof it out. Even snaps that coil. He's got a drum charge available. Looks like he wants to just make it back to the tower. He's going to play the bongos, pop the wand, get the breathe fire off, gets the stun off on Nando as well. Follow-up coming in from the side. Drive-by by the Witch Doctor. The AA Ice Blast not going to connect, and he will go down. He did not buy the blink.
I guess he's just thinking about something else. Yeah, he queues up the BKB.
Well, he could have at least bought a component and spent some of that unreliable gold. So, still not really optimal from Super. Maybe expecting a TP, though I don't know what that TP would have been. Maybe a Lich with a Chain Frost.
Anybody. He was being chased for like 10 seconds, I think.
How many pings do you think he wanted to... Like, if that was a pub, how many times would he have pinged his tower?
Or on himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on his APM, I guess. But I guess LFY were busy doing somewhere else.
Might be Monet's turn to get punished here. Going top. No, time walks off all the damage. He's even going to swing around. Gets off the dilation. Well played by him. Now up to the high ground. Away he goes. Speaking of elusive, LFY have one of those too.
Okay, Nando. He just time-lapsed. Uh-oh.
There is no Doom available. However, Troll Trap could come in, but the cast animation extremely long. And that will ring around the shrine and away to safety. Now closing in on the Lincoln Sphere, so about to get a lot more difficult of a takedown.
Yep, Doom is going for... He queued up Shadow Blade, but looks like they're going to go for the triple BKB timing, right?
Super went back for Blink, so... Super goes Blink, Doom is going to go BKB and be the frontliner.
Okay. It seems like
I like the DK Blink a lot better than the Doom Blink because your stun has a very low cooldown, right? Yep. It's like 10 seconds, whereas... Doom, you're only really blinking in a Doomy, and that's once every 2 minutes, so...
Well, the difference is that against Weaver specifically, Super by himself can lock him down, right? There's no way to break that Linkens, whereas Doom can go, like, let's say, blink in, troll, and snare to break the Linkens, and then Doom. So even though that the DK has the blink, he needs somebody's help to actually take off that Linkens to actually start the fight.
More likely, the late-game lockdown for the Weaver is going to be the Void.
Sure.
Much more reliable source of disable than, you know, having to cast 2 single-target spells, including Doom with its giant wind-up where he just starts waving his arms around. That Lincoln's debuts.
There you go.
No, now having it on cooldown, maybe just play a little more carefully.
I mean, Super eventually will have the way to break a Lincoln. Likely he's going to go into a Heaven's Halberd. DDC.
DC does get found out here. The silence comes through. However, they turn it around with the blink, the stun, the frost as well. They will get the kill. Afu heading up towards safety. The shrine available.
Shrine? Afu?
Gonna shrine it. Tries to bait him in as long as possible, waiting for that dragon tail to cool down. Nando committing. No way he deals with that damage. Or rather, damages through that heal initially, but the follow-up could be enough. Continues the chase. No support here in sight for Afu, as he will eventually end up falling. And while that was going on, there's a big skirmish breaking out top lane. Super a little bit late to this. He runs into 3. The Necro, though, with lots of heals to work with, has a 4-step ready. Gets on top of him. LFY getting sloppy here now, tanking the Caustics on the run. Hounded by 3. Execration are eviscerating LFY. They won't be able to kill off Super, but they send him on his heels back towards the well. They did also lose DDC's Ancient Apparition at the beginning of that fight, so Execration clawing their way back in.
Yeah, they're, I mean, technically in the lead right now when it comes to having the kill advantage and the gold advantage. Sorry, not kill advantage, gold advantage rather. And this is actually a rather unfortunate timing for LFY. They just picked up the Blink Dagger on Sanking. They're supposed to be extending their own lead. And like you said, they're just being sloppy. Running in a gank, not realizing that the Weaver has a Lincoln finish. And going back to remember when Dragon Knight was chased for like 10 seconds and he didn't get any TP support. It's just like small things like that where they could have easily prevented that kill if any TP came in. I think LFY had a lead and perhaps they're playing a little bit careless.
Execration chilling at the shrine here, likely gonna hit that momentarily as Potato gets back in the game. He did go for a 4-step here, Lumi, then steps back for a cloak. So getting some very cheap items to try and make them mid-game combat worthy. What is the long-term vision for Execration here? Is it just playing that split push farm game and delaying a little jump on DDC, or is there something more immediate in mind?
I think, judging from the way that he's building his item, they're looking to just fight all over the map, right? You have very mobile heroes, you have good pick-off heroes, like what we just saw, and then you just try to go for the late game. Unfortunately, they need their Weaver to be big in the late game, and he just got picked off.
No matter how big he gets, there is always going to be a Chronosphere to catch him.
True.
That is the scary thing is the Weaver, and perhaps what's more scary is you don't really have a proper Chrono counter this game. There's no Venge, there's no Dazzle, there's no reliable way, or Pudge, I guess the other big popular one with the hook. There's no reliable way to save your teammates when they're trapped in Chrono, aside from just trying to heal them up.
Wow, they're going to try to force a kill under the tower, and the Reaper side will come in, but he just pops a BKB and the Doom. He says, no problem, I got the fire. Here goes James is doomed up in the trees, and they are going to take him down. James gives up a pretty big kill streak.
Or not. The bash, Raging Potato, eating it, and now with the Maelstrom procs, combine that with the Mask of Madness, likely going down here, but they try to cover him on the retreat. Super to the rescue. Quick little blink stun from the Dragon Knight, gets the job done. Fu, he wants more. He's chasing after Mr. Chemo, but Chemo will scurry away to safety. The item timings on LFY just seem like they've mostly been very fortuitous. You know, you have the blink coming for the Dragon Knight, catching heroes by surprise several times around that sub 20-minute mark. Now the Doom BKB just unveiled to great success. Everything really just synchronizing pretty well here for LFY in a lot of these fights.
I mean, you say unveil, but they saw Doom's item the whole time, right? Like, I think that was Execration being careless there. They knew that he had BKB. And
maybe thought they could completely chain stun him, but
right.
they needed like the whole team to do that, I want to say.
He has 2k HP. It's just hard to chain stun a Doom like that and expect to get a kill.
And they don't have that much sustained damage. The Weaver went Lincoln's first. The Puck has gone Veil, so he's that initial burst. That's really it.
I think they were expecting the Reaper Scythe to be enough to like bring him low and just get off a clean kill, but unfortunately,
it's just not at this point in the game.
Yeah.
With the amount of farm that Potato has.
Dire is scanning. Okay.
Wow.
The technology. We have it.
I'm having some StarCraft flashbacks. that was a very like Terran, what's the name of that thing the Terran had?
The comm scan, I think?
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the weird like cyber intelligence thing that's in like the portrait. Like in
it goes like do.
The one that always like gives you your missions and briefings and stuff.
Oh.
That voice sounds a lot like that.
Is that supposed to be a British accent?
No, I have no idea what it's supposed to be.
Gorman comes in here with his American bacon. Is like, look at me, you talk British.
I was not even trying to sound British.
Sorry.
If I did, it was purely unintentional, I swear. No offense to all the many UK Dota fans out there. I mean, you guys already have it hard enough.
Damn.
I don't need to rub any more salt in the wounds.
In the Roche pit, Weaver, I mean, you talk about him needing items, right? He's starting to get there. He's got a Diffusal Blade, and he's going to pick up a Desolator. Once that Desolator is online, he will have enough. Here it goes, Ice Blast.
Doom gets dropped, but the real action at the Roshan pit is Nando. Thanks that Aegis just in the nick of time. Now the Epicenter coming through into with the Casca bounce, and LFY are getting run over. Will they be able to find these counter kills to turn the fight? Potato stays alive, the power of the pipe, as well as the Force Staff juking around the trees. Still, though, they've lost 3 in spite of that, and now Nando wants to get the hell out of dodge. Potato's going to go down. 4 have fallen. It's about to be 5. At least the Aegis going to get cracked once here. Can they kill him a second time?
They got Who Stomp. All right, let's see. Inflame. Money's on you. Boom! Got the stomp, and they break his Lincoln quickly. Bashes are coming through, and Nando goes down.
Team wipe. LFY, they get 6. Aegis, 5 kills. The only thing they didn't get was the damn Roshan. Talk about a train wreck.
Yeah, they got the Ice Blast onto the Necrophos. So even though he did get a Reaper Scythe kill, he wasn't able to get any region off. And that was the big concern I had in the drafting phase. They picked both Witch Doctor and Necrophos into the Ancient Apparition. And that teamfight there shows you the reason why not to. They just got absolutely trucked by that Ice Blast.
This Void is doing a ton of work. He did almost 4,000 damage that fight, as much as all 3 Execration cores combined, I want to say.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because of the Ancient Apparition. The synergy with Ice Vortex, amplified magic damage, and the Bash being magical, as well as grabbing a Maelstrom. Monet, with all that attack speed, is dishing out sustained damage, something I really don't feel like Execration have. They have Heartstopper aura, but Raging Potato is not staying in the fight.
He's
Oftentimes
just
he has
dying.
to run or
Yeah.
he's dead. So, you know, where does it come from? You say it should be the Weaver, but for the most part, Nando has been dealt with, whether it's Doom, whether it's Chrono. He does have a Diffusal Blade now, his first real damage item, and he's going back for the death. So once he gets those two, perhaps he could be the solution.
They see Dragon Knight, but like, do we want to jump on this guy? He's just tough kill.
Super already knows something is up.
Oh, Epicenter just whiffs completely. He got some creeps, though. Silver lining.
If it makes you feel any better for Execration, I don't think anyone actually
Raging
saw the
Potato.
Epicenter being used, but trouble now for Mr. Potato. There is no Doom for a little while. Blinks in with the Infernal Blade, follows up with the Hurl Boulder, and then walks away.
Yep.
If the Doom was ready, that's another death.
They would have had to chase up into the shrine where TPs are coming, so I thought that was kind of good reservation here by LFY. You were also talking about the Void. Let's talk about that Mask of Madness a little bit. You know, a very standard item build nowadays on the Void, but this game, I don't think he's going to get punished at all, right? The minus armor. Sure, Weaver is going to hit him a little bit harder, but look at the rest of the team. It's all magic, so this is the most value Mask of Madness I've ever seen. So rarely you've seen an opposition draft in such a way where, you know, there's just no physical damage.
Old Mask of Madness, this would be really painful.
Yeah, new Mask of Madness.
New Mask of Madness, it's fun. All right, Lumi, so overall, still an even game numerically. I think it's a good time to take like a look at the broader picture here.
Sure.
How do you feel the two teams' overall strategies have stacked up thus far, and what are they looking to do moving forward? Has anyone missed their timings? Is anyone waiting for something to really kick in?
So I think Execration definitely missed what their draft is supposed to do timing-wise, just from the laning stage, right? They got a terrible lane. Moving forward, though, I think a lot of it rests on LFY's Chronosphere placement. You talked about how important it is to shut down the Weaver. Let's not forget that moving forward, Weaver can, in theory, buy back in a team fight and time-lapse right back into it. And once Chrono's spent, once Doom is spent, he can run wild on the LFY backline. If Execration could take a fight like that. But
at that point, the only real reliable disable is Chain Bash, and maybe if the linkage is broken,
well,
potentially the Dragon.
I thought you're the SAT master. I don't think that's what reliable means when it comes to bashing it and stuff.
I don't know. I that last fight, it felt reliable. He got like
Sure,
3 bashes in a row, but yeah,
so
it's definitely not reliable in theory.
I think Execration, they have to outplay them. They have to like get the jump, you know, three man with the coil and then the big Sand King ults and stuff like that. They need to solve a team fight where Raging Potato killing somebody with a scythe. But, oh, there you go.
Nando down again. It's one thing to lose RR, but losing that Weaver is much more painful, and there's no punishment for this. Execration sent 2 top, but it's only a Necrophos. This ain't no Drow Ranger, a Lone Druid, a Tiny. It's just not a hero that hits buildings. They may be trying to jump this DK.
Okay.
Gonna be tough. He's got a BKB. They've got to chain stun him down to get the Veil. They will get the Necrophos ult off, and they secure the kill.
Yep.
A clinical takedown, and something that Execration need a lot more of if they want to get back in the game.
Now, had the Weaver and the Witch Doctor not died, like this kind of fight is exactly what Execration is looking for. These cooldown of the ultimates are relatively short. Weaver, the Necrophos ultimate, 60 seconds, right? Like, you could just keep doing this for a while. You have so good of initiation, and you could wear out LFY, force them to stay in their own base, stuff like that. But if you make a single mistake, if Nando dies one time, it just sets back your timing so much further. Guerrilla tactics is what Execration needs to do, and do it very well.
I mean, for me personally, Lumi, I do look at the drafts. I feel like LFY is just a lot easier to execute late game because they have Chrono and they have Doom. Sure, maybe the Weaver's a tough Doom target. I would also say even throw Dragon Knight in this category. Like, as a hero, it's pretty hard to screw up a fight with. You know, you just kind of blink in, stun somebody, you know, run around and be tanky and hit people. the floor on how LFY is going to perform in a fight is fairly low, unless the Void completely whiffs a Chrono. So far, Monet's been quite stable. All his Chronos have worked out. He also, I just don't feel like he has to do, you know, be too ambitious. He doesn't have to hit a 4-hero Chrono. Like, just Chronoing the Weaver or maybe even another core is enough for LFY to take the fight.
Weaver Necrophos before he drops his spell. You're absolutely right. Like, he doesn't need to hit the perfect one. He just needs to hit an okay one, and he has been. Also, I do want to mention, look at the skill build and the talent build for Inflame. He's got the Midas. He's got the plus 80 Devour bonus gold. Look at his net worth as a Doom. How often do you see this? And he's kind of scaling to some amazing late game items. Refresher Orb is going to be coming out, so that's more control for the Weaver, Puck, Necrophos. He's going to get tankier and tankier as the game progresses. I think this is big problems for Execration.
Let's look at how farmed this Doom has become in Flame, where oftentimes he's at the bottom of the net worth chart as far as cores go. He is firmly atop it.
Yep. And that's the question you were having, right? Is Inflame going to show up at this TI? Is he going to do well?
And I think Inflame has played well this game. I also think LFY were just very smart about how they approached the game. They got him a hero that's difficult to kill. They gave him support in the lane. They didn't like throw him into the off lane, what we used to call the suicide lane, without any help. And then, you know, he's been allowed to farm. So I think the hero selection, the way he was supported, like, it's easy to just say, oh, Inflame's just playing better, and I think that's part of it, but I think a lot of it's just LFY game planned well to set him up for success.
Yeah. I think one of the strengths that we talked about DDC and the rest of LFY when we casted them in the MDL is the draft is definitely very on point. That's one of their strengths. And I think for viewers that are coming in here, it's... Oh, hold on, I thought they're going to try to set up a kill on the Weaver, I think, but he is... trees.
Oh, they want him. He's going to go for that TP out. Blink on cooldown for the Doom. See you later.
Yeah.
Okay, by Nando, but still shows that he's even in danger now with the Lincolns, as had Doom had his Blink ready, he would have been dead.
The rest of Execration somewhat afraid to push this tier 2. I think they haven't seen Void on the map, and they're afraid that if too many people hit this tower, they get Chrono, people TP in, and that would be it. So they only show James. James is enough to take down the tower.
LFY still looking for a tier 1 top, and despite having the Dragon Knight, they've spent so much time fighting and kind of reacting to Execration's movements that they haven't actually been taking objectives. BKB forced out by Super, a precious 10-second charge now down the drain. As well as the Dragon form, could be an opening. They're going to find the Doom, but BKB out of the coil. BKB's definitely saving lives, but again, these are pretty long duration charges being expended, Lumi. And
for sure.
As Execration has so much magic damage, lack of BKB could be problematic later in the game.
Now, both of us have been painting this game as very LFY favored, but if we just look over to the net worth chart for real fast, it's a relatively small lead for LFY. Perhaps have we like kind of underestimated what Execration could do, especially moving into the late game?
I mean, I think for me, like numerically, it was clear it was even the whole game. It's more, I just feel like on paper, LFY can do more with the farm, but that is assuming they hit their big ultimates.
Yep. BKBs now are down.
They're going to catch the Doom. They want to make a move, but Ice Blast comes in. Sand King almost certainly done for. The raindrops can maybe save him, but a beautiful chrono by Monet is going to catch out too. The Weaver gets chewed through, ripped to shreds. Man, that Void hits hard with the Ice Vortex.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the Mask of Madness. He's going in.
It's a bit unfortunate for Execration. It looks like they wanted to set up something around the Roche pit, but Roche unfortunately has not respawned yet. Still a minute short. By the time it does, LFY will have the map control advantage here as we see the Doom getting to work. A Raging Potato up top, hits him with the Infernal Blade, keeps on attacking him, no deny in sight. Only a little split push as the lone survivor is James. Blinks deep into the trees, will TP out, but LFY having their cake and eating it too. Taking towers, getting kills, and now likely to grab Roche as well. Unless Execration come in and set up a fight, they are missing some big cooldowns here. Void's ult still a minute away. Doom 2 minutes off. Seems like Execration will muster their forces and be back in time. Do they try and sneak the Roche? Do they try and contest it? They'll have to move soon because Execration are about to find out LFY is already into the pit.
I don't know. 40 seconds till Necrophos is back. I don't think they could contest without him. He is very important to actually getting quicker. Weaver ports in. Okay.
And the Doom's there on the back lines. He's already chewing through RR, pops that BKB. Nando's going to waste all kinds of time trying to kill him off. And meanwhile, it's really just space created because the Roshan has been grabbed by LFY.
He has a gem, though.
A big objective claim for them. The Doom will end up falling. Execration get a consolation prize. You mentioned they will grab that gem, but
I think that was poor play, in my opinion, for the Doom. I think LFY was going to get the Roche regardless because Necrophos is not there. He basically traded one of his long BKB charges for a Witch Doctor kill and just dropped the gem. Gem is the reason why their map control has been so strong, and I think that careless play is opening the door slightly for Execration to possibly make a comeback.
Now that said, there's always that specter of a puck stealing the Aegis, and by going in aggressively, perhaps Doom ensures that they focus on him.
Come on. That's such a low... I mean, yes, it does happen. I agree with you, but that's...
It's definitely a low percentage thing, but it also does happen, and, you know, if you want to be really safe, throw it in. He did get a Witch Doctor kill.
Okay.
End of the day, the net worth chart is still pretty happy for LFY. They're now up to 7,000 gold advantage, so...
Look, I'm not going to defend and flame for that play. I, in fact, will flame him.
You're going to flame him for that play.
That was not... All right.
He's already in flames, Lumi. You don't need to roast him any further. Have some compassion for the man. So move in bottom. They want to lock down this void. BKB though, and he's gonna dodge the Necrophos ult. He whiffs his own chrono. He says, "You're gonna whiff your ult. Don't worry. I'll throw you a bone and whiff mine as well." A little handicap from Monet.
LFY needs to be very careful because Execration has done such an excellent job, kind of just pushing all these tier 2 towers. Let's not forget that tier 3 up top is down to what, 75%. If Execration finds a decent fight outside their base, we might see some tier 3 dropping, and all of a sudden, we might be singing a very different tune when it comes to who is actually ahead in this game. For now, LFY still very much so ahead with the Aegis, but, you know, I feel like both teams, looking back in this game, they wouldn't be too happy, regardless how the result goes, because both teams are fairly sloppy.
This is not the kind of Dota that is going to win you the grand finals,
no.
Right? Like, this is not main stage Dota, and to be fair, I think we've seen a lot of teams start off like this in the group stage and TI's past and slowly
your digital chaos, you know, your wings even maybe.
And get stronger.
Yeah.
So not out of the question that could happen for these teams either. But yeah, it's felt a little sloppy, that's for sure.
Here we go.
Nando's in position. He's going to break the smoke nice and early and now get to work. BKB's popped up plenty and now they commit and it's onto the Necrophos. Everybody trying to jump him and bring him down. The Chrono still on cooldown, but they get the bashes. Sand King is done for. Monet carving him up and ruining a fine piece of art. Now Afu gonna be punished here, gets off the Frost Armor, he glimmers away, he lobs the Chain Frost back in. The unkillable Lich tosses him into the bottomless pit.
The bottomless pit. What a reference that nobody will get here. LFY, that was great puck Dream Coil. He hit like multiple heroes under the BKB and Super snapped it, so he was actually out of the fight for, I don't know, God knows how long. He was actually not in the fight, but critically, they got off the Doom on Necrophos at the beginning of the fight. Doom does have the talent of the plus 40 DPS on the Doom upgrade, so Necrophos just straight up died despite not even being hit. And
where Execration may struggle to go high ground, LFY, they do not.
Yeah.
They're chunking this tower down.
Okay, well.
Also, by the way, I do want to say I really like this Orchid pickup on Super. As it gives them another way to break that Weaver's Linkage and lock them down. And now it's going to let them kill the puck here, too. Gets punished with the silence, as well as the chain bash.
Okay.
Monet continues to deliver in that regard. Now they jump in further. Things crumbling, rapidly falling apart. Execration now on their heels. They're going to lose our R2. Death to the Infernal Blade. No split push. No trades. Just death in the base. Perhaps death here for the Void as well.
He's got Aegis.
Aegis expended, but it's all a bait. LFY now coming back for round 2. Hot and heavy. Leaping into position, finding the kills, and securing a greater and greater advantage. A completed Linkage Sphere about to arrive for that Void, who is incredibly farmed now.
Yep.
And making full use of every bit of that gold.
Silver lining here for Execration fans out there. Tier 2s are still alive on the other side lanes. I think had they not been alive, LFY could have probably stayed for an extra tier 3 or something like that. But LFY will back it up and start building up towards some items. Dragon Knight. You're saying that perhaps he's not the best kind of late game scaling hero with the way that he's progressing his item. He's got a now Bloodthorn finish. All of a sudden, he's a huge late game threat. Doom also having a Lincoln Sphere. So we are starting to see the door rapidly shutting on Execration.
And do things get better? You know, is there like a peak of sunlight beyond the clouds where suddenly there'll be a happier days ahead? Because to me, Lumi, it just looks like the lineup only struggles more the later the game goes. God forbid, you know, the Void ever manages to get another damage item. Perhaps the Doom gets that late game refresher as has already been queued up. Like, eventually, if it went 60, 70 minutes, DDC maybe has an Ags on the Ancient Apparition. So he's played a pretty utility role thus far. Like, I just don't see where the scaling plays out
LD.
in favor of Execration.
This is gonna look like the weathers of Seattle, right? You have one day of sunshine, you call that day summer, and it's over. It's gone. Execration is gonna be in the dreary falls and winters of Seattle.
You say that, it has rained here like 2 days in the 6
Look,
years
the
that I've
weathers
been
has
to
been
TI.
great. The weathers have been great, and kind of to put the metaphor in how this game has been played, like going back to the point I made earlier, right? Execration, technically, they've been down in terms of the draft and whatever, but they played a very close game for, what, 30, 35 minutes? You know, at a certain point, they were even within 1K in terms of net worth. But it's just that they always have to kind of, like, dodge and play guerrilla tactic stuff. And
Oh, it's trouble for James now. That blink stun orchid combo. Super just mashed all the buttons and managed to silence him, and ultimately is going to secure that puck kill. LFY just good at, they've chosen good items and played this well to be able to shut down split push.
Yep.
It's very risky for the puck and the Weaver to go out on their own while those big cooldowns are available. Like now, perhaps Nando feels a little safer, but that's only after forfeiting one of your key cores again.
Raging Potato gonna get jumped. Lincoln's gonna pop a stun, but yeah, he's in the tree's chain frost, being lobbed out just to make sure they get the kill. You were saying that they're getting the right items to actually go for these kind of picks on the side lanes. To me, a lot of that is the Ice Vortex from the Ancient Apparition, like just giving you vision into the trees. Super big in terms of, let's say, picking up a puck earlier just now, allowing them to get an easy kill on Necrophos as he tries to juke into the trees. I think this is one of the more underrated spells.
Speaking of super, he definitely is super big right now as he takes the kind of ballsy route. We'll see Inflame getting picked off here bottom, punished a bit. Does manage to drop the Doom on RR, likely going to kill off the Witch Doctor.
All right.
The base, though, the real problem. LFY are losing their second lane of racks. There's just no signs of backing either. I think you just, well, aside from the fact that there is a tier 2 up bottom lane, perhaps they'll have to for now, but that next push is coming soon, and it's going to be for all the marbles. Mega Creeps are on the menu.
Oh, Monet threatening Chronosphere, doesn't have it just yet.
He's going to chase for this, he might get 2. Oh, it doesn't guess right.
Yeah. Now Chrono's still on CD, so wouldn't have had it.
Yeah, you're right. 2 seconds.
2 seconds. One thing I kind of completely forgot about is the frost armor on the buildings. Not that they ever really needed it, but I think that that tier 3 tower on the bottom would have been, I don't know, maybe at 40% instead. But
there hasn't been very much chat wheel this game, by the way, Luke. I don't know if you've noticed that.
That one that was
MDL was like at least 20 chat lines.
I wonder if EJ yesterday had a meeting. Like, chat wheels are cool, but you know,
save it for the big moments.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Lumic just spammed. If we lose 2 lane, it's easy to play, right? Because you know, there's only 1 lane to defend now. There you go.
Oh, I missed my classic Lumiisms. It's good to go down Mega Creeps because then the creeps are always at your base. So you can get that little extra bit of farm.
Yeah. You don't have to go out into the danger areas to get farm. It's always here.
Yeah, conserve your energy, go into hibernation for about an hour, then come out stronger than ever.
Conserve the energy. No, that's when you go lit. There's so much to talk about. We could talk about the balancing of the game, you know. What cosmetics
when
are
do the
the
explosions start kicking in? That's what gets me going.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get to see any at this rate. Super.
Maybe not in this game, but you know, TI, there's a lot of games. Long tournament, so might get some explosions.
I think I rate this at probably 95 to 5% win chance at this point in favor of LFY.
Yep. I agree. I think 5 is a good amount to give to Execration because it's Dota 2, you know. Things could happen.
There aren't many games where I would say it's lower than 5, like in my lifetime of casting Dota. At least for me. I'd say it's less than 1% for sure. As Monet finds the 3-hero triple. Hello, Lich! Chain Frost bouncing and heroes are quickly dying. Potato goes to the TP out. See you later. They tried to gank the Shark Man.
I'm not sure whether he saw
the Shark Man bites.
The beginning of the fight. Basically, Puck wanted to blink in, Yules to break the Lincolns, and then they drop off the chain stun. He Yules the truck, so, and then they got 3-man chrono.
Ouch.
Yeah. Execration.
And now the chat wheel's coming out. That's when you know they're beaten, I guess. Execration all spamming that wheel for all it's worth, and already out in front is In Flame, quickly trying to bring down these shrines and focus on the real prize as LFY are going to open up their international journey with a 1-0 start. They've gotten on the board. See if Execration can bounce back.
So for the viewers that are just joining us for this victory here, you gotta keep in mind this is a very different LFY that we've been seeing. One that doesn't rely on Afu. Like this, we've been saying Afu is kind of the all-star, but this game, he played a Lich, right? It really
and
showed
it was an all-star Lich, you know, he's getting kills bottom, he ruined the Necrophosis.
I mean,
he denied the crap out of those creeps, but yeah, it is just a Lich.
You could have put me in there. I know what did, like, 80% of what he did. It's just,
hell, you could have put me in there.
Exactly. It's just that, to me, this game was won by the good coordination of LFY, the good teamwork, and the draft. Like, it's not the full power of LFY, and they still was able to beat Execration pretty handedly.
All right, folks, so that wraps up Game 1. It is a 2-game series. Execration looking to bounce back and make this a draw. LFY looking for their first 2-0 of the event. Stick around.